Have you ever wondered why certain people enter your life long before you actually meet them? Not physically, but emotionally, spiritually, and psychologically. There are connections that begin forming beneath the surface of reality. Long before two paths cross, your future spouse may not know your name today. They may not know where you live, what you look like, or what your voice sounds like. Yet something inside them is already responding to your existence. What if the reason they are becoming restless is not because they have found you, but because they are beginning to feel the pull of who you are becoming? Most people spend their lives believing that love begins at the moment two eyes meet, two hands touch, or two names are exchanged. Yet the deepest connections often start long before either person becomes aware of the other. They begin in the hidden layers of personal transformation. While you may think you are simply working on yourself, overcoming obstacles, rebuilding confidence, or pursuing a meaningful purpose, something much greater is unfolding beneath the surface. Every step you take toward becoming your authentic self creates a subtle change in the psychological landscape of your future. The person who is meant to walk beside you may not know where you are, but they are already being affected by the changes you are making. There is a strange phenomenon that occurs when an individual begins to grow beyond old limitations. Suddenly, relationships that once seemed satisfying no longer feel complete. Conversations become shallow. Familiar routines lose their appeal. A quiet dissatisfaction begins to emerge, not because something is wrong, but because something deeper is trying to be born. Somewhere your future spouse may be experiencing exactly this. They may find themselves questioning why they feel restless, despite having everything they once thought that they wanted. They may be unable to explain why they are no longer attracted to the same people, the same environments, or the same patterns. What they are experiencing is not confusion. It is preparation. The soul has a remarkable ability to sense when a significant chapter is approaching. Before a meaningful connection enters your life, there is often an internal rearrangement that takes place. Old beliefs begin to crack. Expectations change. Priorities shift. The person you are destined to meet cannot enter a space that is occupied by outdated versions of yourself. Therefore, life quietly begins clearing the path. The same process is happening within them. As you develop greater self-respect, they become less willing to tolerate disrespect. As you learn emotional maturity, they become more aware of emotional immaturity in others. As you move closer to your purpose, they begin feeling a stronger desire to discover their own. Neither of you may realize it, but you are growing toward the same destination from different directions. This is why personal growth is never a selfish act. Every fear you overcome benefits not only your future, but also the future relationship waiting to be formed. Every time you choose healing over bitterness, courage over avoidance, or authenticity over approval, you strengthen the foundation of a bond that has not yet appeared in physical form. You are becoming someone capable of recognizing genuine love, and at the same time your future spouse is undergoing a similar transformation. Many people become impatient during this stage because they cannot see immediate results. They wonder why the right person has not arrived yet. What they fail to understand is that becoming always comes before receiving. Life is not withholding love from you. It is preparing both individuals for an encounter that can withstand reality rather than merely survive fantasy. And while you continue evolving into the person you were meant to be, somewhere another heart is unknowingly being shaped by the same invisible force, moving closer to the moment when your paths finally cross. There comes a moment in every meaningful transformation when growth no longer remains a private experience. Even though the changes are happening within you, the effects begin to ripple outward into places you cannot see and people you have never met. As you become more aligned with your true nature, something shifts in the invisible patterns that connect human lives. This is why your future spouse may be experiencing an unexpected disturbance in their comfort zone without understanding the source of it. They may wake up one day and realize that the life they have carefully constructed no longer feels complete. The routines that once provided security begin to feel restrictive. The relationships that once seemed exciting begin to feel shallow. The goals that once motivated them lose their emotional power. At first, they may resist these feelings. Most people do. Human beings naturally seek comfort, because comfort creates the illusion of safety. Yet comfort can also become a prison when it prevents growth. Deep inside, every person carries a desire to become more than they currently are. Unfortunately, that desire is often buried beneath habits, fears, and familiar patterns. Before a significant relationship can enter someone's life, those hidden barriers must begin to crack. Your future spouse may suddenly find themselves questioning choices they never questioned before. They may wonder why certain friendships feel disconnected. They may become frustrated with conversations that revolve around gossip, negativity, or superficial concerns. They may feel an unusual urge to spend more time alone, reflecting on who they are and what they truly want. To others, this might look like confusion. In reality, it is the beginning of awakening. Growth often arrives disguised as discomfort. It rarely announces itself as a blessing. Instead, it appears as dissatisfaction, uncertainty, and restlessness. It forces people to confront truths they have avoided for years. Somewhere, while you are working on becoming a stronger, wiser, and more authentic version of yourself, your future spouse may be confronting their own shadows. They may be facing insecurities they once ignored. They may be recognizing emotional wounds they never fully healed. They may be letting go of beliefs that no longer serve them. This process can feel chaotic because the mind prefers certainty. Yet meaningful love cannot thrive within a person who remains asleep to their own potential. The relationship you are destined to create requires two individuals who are willing to evolve. It requires honesty, self-awareness, and emotional depth. These qualities are not developed through comfort. They are forged through challenge. As you move closer to your purpose, your actions create an example that resonates beyond physical distance. Every time you choose growth over stagnation, you strengthen a force that encourages others to do the same. Your future spouse may never consciously recognize this connection, yet they feel its influence. They feel an inner pressure pushing them toward greater authenticity. They feel a growing resistance to settling for less than what their heart truly desires. The strange thing about destiny is that it often prepares people separately before bringing them together. While you are learning lessons on your path, they are learning lessons on theirs. While you are breaking old limitations, they are confronting their own. The discomfort they experience is not a sign that something is wrong. It is evidence that something significant is changing. Their comfort zone is shrinking because the person they are becoming can no longer fit inside the life they once accepted. And that transformation is bringing them one step closer to the connection they have been unknowingly preparing for all along. There is a mysterious stage in human development when the heart begins searching for something it cannot yet identify. A person may have no clear reason to feel incomplete, yet a quiet longing starts to grow within them. It is not loneliness in the ordinary sense. It is deeper than that. It is the feeling that someone somewhere exists, who will understand parts of them that no one else has ever fully seen. Your future spouse may be experiencing this very feeling. They may not know your name, your face, or your story, yet their inner world is already creating space for your arrival, at unexpected moments. They may catch themselves imagining conversations with a person who does not yet exist in their conscious reality. They may picture a relationship unlike anything they have experienced before. It is not necessarily about appearance or status. Instead, they find themselves longing for qualities. They imagine someone who brings peace rather than drama, depth rather than superficiality, understanding rather than judgment. These thoughts may seem random, but they are often reflections of an emerging readiness for a meaningful connection. The human psyche has a remarkable ability to anticipate future possibilities. Long before an important event enters physical reality, the mind often begins constructing symbolic images of it. This is why people sometimes feel drawn toward a certain type of person without understanding why. They are responding to something deeper than conscious preference. They are responding to an inner vision of what their next stage of growth requires. Your future spouse may notice that their standards are changing. Characteristics that once attracted them begin to lose their appeal. They may become less interested in temporary excitement and more interested in emotional depth. They may stop chasing attention and start seeking authenticity. The qualities they are looking for are not appearing by accident. They are being shaped by the lessons they have learned and the person they are becoming. At the same time, many of those qualities are the very ones you are developing within yourself. Every challenge you overcome leaves a mark on your character. Every disappointment teaches wisdom. Every act of courage strengthens your identity. While you may think these experiences only affect your personal journey, they are also shaping the energy you bring into future relationships. The more you grow into your authentic self, the more closely you align with the image that already exists within your future spouse's unconscious expectations. There may even be moments when they dream about someone they cannot recognize. They may wake up with a strange feeling of familiarity, as though they have encountered a presence they cannot explain. They may feel drawn toward certain ideas, places, or experiences that seem unrelated to their current circumstances. These moments are often dismissed as imagination, yet they reveal something important about the human soul. Before reality changes, the inner world frequently senses the possibility of change first. As they continue evolving, the picture becomes clearer. They begin to understand what truly matters to them. Their desire for a meaningful connection grows stronger because they are no longer interested in relationships that merely fill time. They are searching for something that resonates with who they are becoming. Without realizing it, they are moving closer to the frequency of your existence. What makes this process so fascinating is that neither of you needs to know the other for it to happen. Growth itself creates the bridge. While you are becoming the person you were meant to be, they are developing the ability to recognize that person when your paths finally cross. What they believe is an imagined future may actually be an unconscious preparation for a reality that is gradually moving toward them with every passing day. Many people spend years searching for love as though it is something that can be found by looking harder, wanting more, or chasing longer. They believe that if they meet enough people, visit enough places, or try enough strategies, the right person will eventually appear. Yet the deepest relationships rarely emerge from desperate searching. They tend to appear when an individual becomes fully engaged with their own growth, purpose, and inner development. This is why the closer you move toward your true calling, the stronger the invisible pull between you and your future spouse becomes. Purpose has a unique power. It organizes your life around what genuinely matters. It forces you to make decisions that align with your values rather than your fears. It teaches you to stop living for approval and start living from authenticity. Every time you choose purpose over distraction, you become more clearly yourself. And the more clearly you become yourself, the easier it becomes for the right people to recognize you. Your future spouse may not understand why they suddenly feel compelled to make important changes in their own life. They may feel a growing desire to pursue neglected dreams, develop hidden talents, or break free from situations that no longer support their growth. What appears to be an independent decision may actually be part of a larger process unfolding in both of your lives simultaneously. While you are moving toward your highest potential, they are being encouraged to do the same. There is a reason meaningful relationships often arrive after periods of intense personal transformation. Before two people can build something lasting together, they must first establish a solid foundation within themselves. Without that foundation, relationships often become attempts to escape loneliness, seek validation, or avoid confronting deeper issues. But when purpose becomes the guiding force, everything changes. Love is no longer used to fill an emptiness. Instead, it becomes a partnership between two individuals who have learned how to stand on their own. As you continue growing, opportunities begin appearing that once seemed impossible. You may encounter new environments, meet different people, explore unfamiliar paths, and develop perspectives that expand your world. Each step places you in situations that are more aligned with your future. At the same time, your future spouse is likely experiencing similar gifts. Doors are opening for them. New experiences are shaping them. Unexpected events are directing them toward lessons they need to learn before meeting you. What is fascinating is that these changes often feel random while they are happening. Neither person can see the full picture. There may be moments when progress feels slow or confusing. There may be periods when you question whether your efforts are making any difference at all. Yet beneath the surface, every decision matters. Every act of courage alters the trajectory of your life. Every time you refuse to settle for less than your potential, you strengthen the path leading toward the future you are meant to experience. The pull becomes stronger because authenticity creates alignment. The closer you come to living in harmony with your true self, the less energy is wasted on pretending, hiding, or conforming. This clarity acts like a signal. It attracts opportunities, experiences, and people who resonate with who you genuinely are. Your future spouse is being drawn by that signal. even if neither of you is consciously aware of it, somewhere. They may be feeling an increasing certainty that something important is approaching. They may not know what it is. They may not be able to explain it to anyone around them. Yet there is a growing sense that life is preparing them for a new chapter. As you move closer to your purpose, the distance between your paths continues to shrink. What once seemed like two separate journeys gradually becomes part of the same unfolding story, moving steadily toward a moment neither of you can yet see, but both of you are unknowingly preparing to embrace. The secret is not to search desperately for your future spouse. The secret is to become the person you were meant to be. As you grow, heal, and pursue your purpose, you create an invisible force that draws the right person closer. What feels like distance today may simply be preparation for a meeting that changes everything. Thank you for spending these moments with me. If this message spoke to your heart, remember that every step of personal growth is preparing you for the life and relationships meant for you. Trust the journey, trust your transformation, and never underestimate the power of becoming your authentic self. No matter where you are today, keep moving forward with courage, patience, and faith in your path. The future has a way of bringing the right people into our lives when we are ready to meet them. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay inspired. Keep growing and keep believing in the possibilities that are quietly unfolding behind the scenes. Thank you for listening, and goodbye. May peace, wisdom, and purpose guide your journey wherever it leads.